Okay, so guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ike MMA podcast, the Ike MMA show. And I'm joined in the studio with John. You can introduce yourself if you like,
Yeah, myself, aka Will Kick MMA.
and you can tell us or tell the audience where they can be expecting to see you fight next, because you're still an active mixed martial arts competitor.
I'm looking. It's weird. It's mad you say that. I've actually got a lot of options to fight in
Mhm.
the future. And I'm not going to say any single particular event, but it could be yeah, either late this year, which I don't think I'm going to, but who knows, or in the beginning of next year. I've got pro offers, I've got amateur offers, and I've got lots of different companies and is that the right word? That is the right word,
Uh,
isn't it?
Different
Um,
options, lots of.
it is company. Yeah, different. I can't think of the name. When you say UFC and you say other things like that, I don't want to even say. I'm not saying it's UFC, but I'm saying I don't want to mention names. But yeah, we've got a lot of options at the moment. Just different organizations. I said fight organizations to fight on. And I'm just weighing up what's the best option
Okay,
for me
okay.
now. So yeah, but I'm not. I've made a specific
No, no,
decision yet.
good. I was told a similar sort of situation. Well, another fighter told me, like I said, they were in a similar sort of situation this week. I won't say who they are, but if they watch this, they probably would know who they are. But I won't give away any names.
Yeah, they themselves will, but they won't know who I'm talking to because I want to make sure I make the right decision. So that's it, you know.
Do you guys do that just to avoid any hype or any other issues or so?
I don't want to pee off anybody, because I've told everybody who spoke to me I haven't made a specific decision with anyone, and I want to make sure I make the right decision, the right call. I mean, yeah, I want to make sure we make the right call, and soon we make the right call, soon as everything's in place and we've said agreed upon we're doing this and we open it and sealed, then I'll announce it. Otherwise, there's no
Okay.
need to.
No, being smart and very wise as well.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
so there's a lot to pick at, a lot to unpack. UFC 281, UFC 281, and I
mm.
mean two headlining. Well, there's one headlining fight. There's also another one that's gonna be in the main card, China versus Poirier. But right up there at the top, Adesanya versus Pereira. I said in the
Yeah.
last interview that looking at the both of them, I just can't make up my minds. But looking at the press conference before the fight, you were right. I think you're right. Pereira is kind of in Adesanya's head.
Mm. Definitely. Definitely is it. I believe that, but not every fight's the same. So, but I'm looking forward to it.
For me, it's kind of like a strange one. I mean, I'm not sure if it's because of the translation whereby everybody had to wait for Pereira to reply and then have his answer be translated from Portuguese back into English before we can fully understand what we were saying. But it's like Israel was
No.
sitting there just looking at this guy, as in the look on his face was like, okay, determination and confidence, but a slight in my gut, I was kind of thinking he has his misgivings as well as to whether how this fight's going to go and whether he's going to come out with a win or just whether he's going to win the fight or lose the fight. Because if he loses the fight,
Mm.
it'll be three times in a row to the same opponent, even though it's now mixed martial arts in comparison to kickboxing.
It's a very hard mental barrier. It's not that, you can't beat him. There's the old saying that every fight will say fighting's 80% mental, 20%
Yes,
physical.
yes.
And losing to someone, not just by losing someone, lose someone by KO as well, devastating, and the only person to knock you out, I believe that's a hard thing to overcome. So it's not saying he can't do it, but it is a hard. It's going to be a really hard fight for Izzy, and it's just because of the he's got to fight him. He's got to fight Pereira with belief in himself and his skills. the moment he starts to fear Alex,
Mm,
he's lost. The moment that he gets
mm.
paralyzed because he don't do, oh, I can't do that shot because remember he might have trauma, oh, that got me knocked out. You know, that those sort of that mind crap when you
Yeah,
start
yeah,
clearing your mind, I can't do that shot, and you start thinking about your opponent, you've already lost. You gotta believe in that. You gotta go out there and believe in
yeah.
yourself and believe in your skills that you're gonna win. If the moment you start thinking about your opponent, it kind of you can almost give him too much respect, and before you know it, you've lost before you've even got in there. So that's why I think Pereira is going to win, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Because I'm not saying is he can't do it, but it's a big ask,
And the
in my
pressure,
opinion.
I think Izzy's going to feel the pressure a lot more because, as I said before, this is an opponent he's faced twice before in the past. Although now it's a kind of slightly
Mm,
different setting. It's still combat sports, so now the rules will change significantly. But the added pressure will be there now to beat this guy because if he loses again, that'll be three times in a row. And
mm.
I think him and Pereira will be enemies for life, probably, if he loses.
For a
Yeah,
long time, I
yeah.
know that. A long time, definitely, I agree.
Did you see the press conference?
I've seen clips. I've seen clips. I've seen clips of quite a few clips of it on little clips on social media apps and such like that. But I haven't seen the whole thing. No, I haven't seen the whole thing. I can't lie. Is there anything that well, yeah, anything speaks to your
Um,
mind?
no, unfortunately, some of these fighters coming from a country that whereby English is not the national language, especially from the South American or Central American continent, like others like Charles Oliveira, or even from the Far East. I was even thinking that press conference they could have done some trash talking back and forth, but I'm not sure Pereira would really get away with it because he has to do it, translate it through his translator from Portuguese to English, and then it'll come across as a bit weird and awkward.
Yeah, because they probably won't say the whole thing in it that you're saying. You know what I mean?
No, no,
Protect
yeah.
him probably. Yeah, I know. But the other fight I'm looking forward to. That one is I'm looking forward to as well. And I told you before I thought that personally, my decision. I think Michael Chandler's going to get a finish on
Hmm.
Poirier, but someone said not someone actually. It was on Instagram. I saw that Poirier's got one of the best boxers in MMA, so maybe not. But I'm still sticking to my guns. I could be wrong, but I reckon Michael Chandler's gonna get a stoppage, knock him down, and then finish him on the ground.
Yeah, I kind of see, I can see that happening because, in my own personal opinion, Chandler is a really well-rounded fighter. I mean, there's his gas tank whereby he may waste that energy on his stand up. But I mean, okay,
Mm,
he might waste his energy with his on his stand up and with his blows and being on the offensive with his hands. But he's also a good wrestler. So when he gets you on the ground, he's still not going to be
mm,
an easy opponent to shake off. So
mm.
I think, and I'm learning more.
So you got Michael
Yes, yes.
Chandler to
I'll,
win.
I'll cut to the cut to the chase. Yeah. If I was a betting person, I'd say Michael Chandler will take the win away from this fight. Yeah.
I've got Michael Chandler. I don't know. I feel like he's split the way he was in his last bout. I believe it was the Tony Ferguson in his last bout. I think. I believe when
Yeah.
he did that the up
Tony
kick and
Ferguson.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. But he looked very good up there. If we get that
Hmm.
Michael Chandler, I think he will explode and catch
Of
Dustin
course. Yeah.
Poirier. I think he can do that. But at the same time, Dustin Poirier, not sleeping on him because I know that Dustin Poirier has got very good boxing, and yeah, I think it'll be good fight. But I'm not switching sides. I'm still going with Michael Chandler, but I did underestimate. I forgot about his hands and how good they were because I remember he outboxed Max Holloway, and Max Holloway is one of the best boxers in MMA, I believe. So yeah, I'm not underestimating Dustin Poirier, but yeah, I still going with Michael Chandler. I think he's going to land that overhand and finish with ground and
Yeah.
pound. Long story short, that was long-winded, but
No,
yeah.
it's funny being you're explaining your answer, which makes sense. For me, I would say Michael Chandler, but even after watching and following the sport for a while, I'm still very cautious as to how I'd place my predictions or place my bet if I were a betting person, which I'm not. But yeah,
Mm. I'm more confident in Axe Pereira winning. Sounds terrible because people are thinking, what the heck? Like, Izzy's the champ. But I'm actually more confident in Alex Pereira winning than I am with Michael Chandler. But if I was to if you had to put a gun to my head, you say which one's gonna win, I would go with
mm,
Michael Chandler. But I don't know when was Dustin Poirier's last fight? When did he fight last? Was it Charles Oliveira? I think he lost, didn't he? It's Charles Oliveira, I believe. That was his last
that
fight. I could be wrong. Yeah, he did fight Charles Oliveira, and I think he got submitted. I think he got knocked down and submitted.
probably. Oh yes, I was gonna say Conor McGregor, but no, that was the year before.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a while ago. The leg check. Yeah, yeah. No, but no, this is it was a good fight. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. But I mean, I'm about to say you want to bring up the other thing. I know it sounds terrible because it's like it it's so random how it's happened. But Jake Paul versus
Andrew Tate. Okay.
Andrew.
You see, I never thought can you, is it your girlfriend? She oh she laughing at the fight, the bout. Your
Who's
missus.
that?
I heard giggling. Oh, sorry.
Nah, nah,
Um,
nah. I think on
I
social media.
think if I'm mistaken, if I'm not correct, whichever way, but I think there was some noise being made about a potential bout between Tate and Paul, a bit being made earlier this year.
Paul.
Jake
Jake
Paul, no,
Paul or Logan
sorry,
Paul?
yes, Jake Paul and Andrew Tate. There was some people as in calling out for or making noise that they should have a boxing match or some sort of combat sports bout. I didn't think it would.
I've
Yeah,
seen it. I've seen pictures of them like
yeah, it
facing
was
off
uploaded today or
and
probably
such.
the day, probably yesterday. Um, I actually thought it was photoshopped. I actually thought it was fake when I saw the photo and the video. But I think I think so. Yeah.
Wow, wow,
Um.
that's mad. He's finally like because Jake Paul ages ago was like just like snubbing Tate off when he was like a whatever you're a nobody
Mm,
sort of thing,
mm.
wasn't he? So I think because Tate's got now a lot of clout. I don't know how he did it over like freaking months, didn't he? Tate he was like came out of nowhere, no one who knew who the heck he
Yeah, I
was, and
know.
then bang, everybody knows who he is. It's mad. So he's somehow and that's how he's got his fight.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but no, but
So yeah,
Andrew
but,
Tate is a genuine combat sports athlete. He is. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
kickboxer.
So he definitely has. It's not just by the fact that he just made some clout over the controversial videos about women and male status and all that stuff.
Yeah,
He is a qualified combat sports athlete, qualified and respected, established kickboxer. Jake Paul
yeah,
in for is
yeah.
for fight fans like myself. I'm still trying to gauge where to place him. All right. So for me,
Sure.
this matchup probably is just about not too far from from knowing whether Jake Paul is a real deal or not. Because I said in the post
Mm,
when I uploaded this to Instagram, if you saw in the comments in the caption, I said if this fight happens, it'll be a very, very interesting fight. Really, really interesting fight. But I think that Jake Paul still has the advantage because of his age. Tate is about 35, 36. Paul's about 10 years younger. So I think Paul still has the
yeah.
advantage probably in terms of youth. That's just my personal opinion. I could be,
Mm.
I could be wrong.
I don't know either. I don't know. The thing is, well, the thing is, I know Jake Paul has been studying
Mm.
only boxing, whereas Tate only has been studying
Mhm.
kickboxing. No, so it's that sort of he's yes, I know he probably had been using the hands as well, but whereas in Jake Paul's only been studying boxing. I know it's the height difference. They look kind of
Yeah.
similar heights as well. The only thing that I will know of this fight is that I believe there's a lot of controversy in a lot of Jake Paul's fights. But a lot of people have been I'm gonna say fix. I feel like some sort of fixing going in
Yes. Yes.
personally.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be
I
fixing
know.
this
Yeah.
fight. Like I know that Andrew Tate has got so much of a big ego. He would not want to lose. No way in his heart could he lose to Jake Paul, especially with all the stuff he said
Yeah.
online, and then he loses to Jake Paul. It'd be quite for him. Like, how would he
Yeah.
live with
Don't
that?
don't forget, Andrew Tate doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the money.
No, he
Doesn't
don't.
need money at all.
No, he don't.
Right. So yeah.
Exactly.
It's-
Exactly. He's not fighting a fight that
exactly.
needs
Yeah.
money. So that's another thing. Whereas, like, we know Anderson Silva needed money. So did what's his name? Tyron Woodley definitely wanted the money. He was like when he gave Tyron Woodley a freaking Rolex. You see him like he was almost like crying. He was almost crying, like almost like thanking him. It was like that was weird. And obviously, I know what's it called, Ben
Yeah.
Askren needed to pay a lot of bills off and funds to keep his wrestling academy
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
going.
Of course. Yeah.
To reboot his wrestling academy. So all these fighters need money. Now, if the rumors are true about what Andrew Tate says what he is worth and all that, then he don't
Mm.
need money. So then this fight is all about pride more than money.
Mm.
So then I'm hoping there's no fixing going.
Well, you say pride. I think maybe for Andrew Tate could be, but more about pride than more than money. Because, like I said before, financially he is rock solid
Mm,
and he is sound. But Jake Paul,
mm,
when I look at the two of them, I mean, and I was thinking this in my mind as I was just making my way home from work. A YouTuber and a boxer, or a YouTuber and a combat sports athlete. Who do you think is going to be taken more
mm.
seriously? A YouTuber or a combat sports athlete?
I know, but this is the thing. When was the last time Andrew Tate fought?
A long, long while ago. A while ago, yeah.
Not too
No, I
long
said
ago, is it?
it'll be a
Was it a
while ago
while
now,
ago?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. And how long has he been taking his training seriously? I mean, depending how long they want to make this fight, they're going to give him a proper camp. They're going to give Andrew Tate like at least till December. And when I say December, at least like 18th or 17th, something like that. Then yeah, I think Andrew Tate gets it. But they say December 4th or something like that.
No, I heard
I don't
that
know.
the bout's going to be scheduled for sometime in the new year in 2023.
Yeah, I'd think I would go with Tate.
Same here. Take
I'd
hands
go
down,
Tate,
yeah.
yeah.
We'll definitely to be
And
walking away from that bout with a win. And
do you think that Jake Paul will be taking him lightly,
of course,
thinking that he could
uh,
just? I think Jake Paul won't be
of
taking
course.
him
I mean,
lightly again.
Andrew Tate and his brother, they both train and stay active, but I think to get back into like in
Mm,
cutting weight, making it, getting onto a particular diet, um, uh, you
mm,
know, Andrew Tate was going to have to make lots of changes to some, let me say, some extra changes to his lifestyle. I mean, I can see he doesn't binge out on bad food or junk food. He does have a majority healthy diet.
no respect.
Um, so I
Mm,
think yeah, he'd have to really get back into the gym and get back into the swing of things, training wise, to compete professionally
mm.
again. But I don't think the changes he'd have to make will be that much. But um, no, I think this is the sort of fight whereby I think I'm gonna have to people will have to watch it closely to see if it's gonna be the real thing or not just some sort of staged, hoax or clickbait.
Yeah,
And watch it very closely and see if the fight actually does happen. Is Jake Paul gonna see it through to the end?
I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate, but that Anderson Silva thing was fixed. I don't care what people say. That last
Yeah.
round punch was like that far away from Anderson Silva's face. Anderson Silva tried to sell that, but he couldn't even sell that. It was terrible because he missed him from that. Like it was like here, he swung there, and he goes like that, drops back.
Mm.
So if I see any of that dodgy stuff like that or weird hand movement and Tate, and then he does something, I won't believe it. Like the one that happened Tyron Woodley number 2 when he did that. That was his hand and he catch that was terrible. That was
Okay,
terrible.
okay. No, that's your opinion, but another figure within the combat sporting community, particularly mixed martial arts, he doesn't compete. He's never
Mm,
competed professionally, but he does a lot of the color commentating for Dana White in the UFC. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan believes that anyone who
yeah.
thinks that the Anderson Silva fight and Anderson Silva versus Jake Paul fight will stage is crazy. And
An idiot. I'm crazy. I'm crazy then. Call me crazy.
Ah, I see. So you
Call me,
you
call
agree
me
with what he's
crazy.
saying then? You accept his opinion.
He can say his opinion, he call me crazy because I what I say is I believe that war fight was fixed. I believe it's fixed. I believe that the Anderson Silva fight was fixed, and I believe the every single fight, not other than all of them, but all the MMA fights he's
Yeah.
had, Jake Paul, all of them I
I
believe are
agree
fixed.
because the way that the guy, the opponent, Jake Paul's opponent, loses the fight, how they get knocked out, it looks bizarre. The knockout seems to come so easily, so quickly, so smoothly. It's like, did you just
Mm.
give away that win and just and take the loss and let your opponent win? It looks so bizarre. And the other guy is really not a professional combat sports athlete. He's only it just doesn't look right.
Well, it was like the first one. The first time I ever thought it was dodgy was when he fought Ben Askren, and I thought that after the fight, I thought, oh, it was legit. But then you got Ben Askren walking down the ramp as the happiest man on the planet. If hang on, and then as soon as the camera's on, he's laughing and then trying to put a serious face.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, what's that all about? Now watch that, watch that, and then we won't believe me. Watch that. When Ben Askren loses, he walks down the ramp laughing. That's where it was like, oh, what's going on here? And then not the first fight with Tyron Woodley. That did seem a bit dodgy because Tyron Woodley I thought hurt Jake Paul, and then he just stared at him for about 10 or 15 seconds. I don't remember that first fight. He rocked him, stared
Mhm.
at him, didn't follow up, which was weird. And then he had a rematch with Jake Paul, and he did the thing with his hand. He did this thing with his hand like that, almost like a hand signal, and then Woodley drops his hand and he just lands the big bomb. And again, when Jake Paul won, Tyron Woody's mum is laughing and happy, and Woody's in the same ring with him. It doesn't add up. It's almost like whatever. It doesn't It's like almost like a staged act. You know, and then obviously now recently Anthony Silva, he missed him by centimeters. Has gone down. Apparently, I haven't even watched it live, but I've seen highlights where Anthony Silva is just playing with him, not even chucking shots, just putting his hands out there, not even throwing.
Mm.
Just it's just it looks so dodgy. And people like Anthony Silva was champion and he probably didn't get as much money as he should have. So same as Woodley, same as Ben Askren, and if he's offered and Silva, who knows behind closed doors, millions. I know that Anderson Silva knows that 47 ain't gonna matter if he loses a fight at boxing at this age. I know it's not gonna dent his legacy that much, so I doubt he cares. He'll take the money, but Tate ain't gonna. Hopefully a Tate shouldn't.
No, no, Tate, him and his brother, if you know their story, their background, they did suffer a lot in their childhood, adolescence, and their young adult life. So they have earned. You may not agree with the means and the ethics of what Andrew Tate may have done to gain his wealth in the later
Yeah.
stages of his, okay, it was of his recent, has gained his money recently,
Mm.
but overall they have worked for everything that they have now. Although there have been
Mm.
controversies that they've been involved in, but they haven't had the sort of cushy lifestyle that Jake Paul and Logan Paul have had. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be certain things that they will not turn a blind eye to. There are certain things that they will not take or stand for. I'm sure of it.
Mm.
Yeah, this will be an interesting match if it does happen because I was looking forward to the Tommy Fury fight and that didn't happen. And the excuse that he gave was that he just went to the airport and then for some reason they say he's barred from traveling to the US. And then later on, it turned out that his family is tied to an Irish gangster family. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just hope because I've seen I kind of I could be just my imagination, maybe I'm just wrong, but I've seen whenever Jake Paul seems to be now there's been preparations for a fight with an opponent that looks like the real deal, where we're going to really see whether he's a real boxer or not. Something always seems to happen, and the fight gets cancelled for some reason, you know. But
Well, don't you think it was weird that when he was fighting Anderson Silva, that they were dancing together at the face-offs and they're doing a dance off and they're like dancing,
you don't think
chilling. I didn't seem like
like
Have you not seen that?
I, I I'm
Have you seen
I've
that?
not seen it, but I mean, looking at the way how they were at the press conference, there wasn't much trash talking. They still had the respect for each other. Jake Paul surprisingly respected, and since they were talking about, oh, this is
Mm,
my idol, been watching on the TV since what 2006 or 2005. So now
yeah.
I'm actually going to be facing him in the boxing ring. It's a dream come true. Um, I was thinking because they had so
Mm,
much respect for each other that maybe they were happy enough to do that, something like that. There was no hate or
yeah.
animosity between them. That they still regarded each other as a friend and still had that
Could
respect.
be fair.
I don't know,
True.
but
True, maybe possibly, possibly. Right. But fair enough, that could be right. But yeah, yeah, I reckon then yeah, I know what you're saying. This Andrew Tate thing could be publicity to get more support and then back out and fight a bum. It could happen. I don't know. We need to see what happens. But I'm looking forward to Saturday. Sunday night, isn't it? Saturday night? Saturday, Sunday, 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I need to find I haven't got it. I haven't got it on. I'm not gonna pay for it. I know it's terrible on live, but I'm
uh,
not paying for it. I want to go find a
yeah,
pub to watch that because I watched the Islam Chimaev one versus Charles Oliveira down Jack Murphy's where I live, and it was Parker. So I just need to find out where that's gonna be on because that's the fight I'm looking for most is
oh
Izzy and
yeah, of
Pereira.
course,
Like
yeah,
that's gonna be the first time like in a while like Izzy's fighting someone, and I think he's second best in striking department because before Alex Pereira came into the UFC. I would say probably Izzy was probably the number one striker in all weight categories. As pound for pound striker, I would say Izzy was number one. But now we've got Alex Pereira, and it's like Izzy's been relying so much on his like precision of his shots and timing, and Alex Pereira, you see how quick he just destroys people when you stand with him. It's gonna be he's like the Mike Tyson of MMA at the moment, Alex Pereira, how he's been
yeah,
destroying people. Like Sean Strickland's got a crazy chin. He takes shots from loads of people, and like Alex Pereira made him look like he was an amateur fighter. You
yeah,
know, it just it's insane.
yeah. I
So I'm
think I
looking
said
forward
after
to
that
that.
fight with Sean Strickland, Pereira still after the fight went back to the seat in the audience, just sat down and just watched the rest of the event.
Yeah. Oh, did
That's what
he?
what a meme said. I'm not sure. Oh my God, was it a meme? Was it? Should I?
Well, Alex Pereira after this fight went to like the audience, just chilled out and
Yes, I
watched the
think
event.
the text said after he'd run through Pereira, this bad motherfucker went back to his seat and just sat down and watched the event as if nothing had just happened. Uh,
Wow,
yeah,
wow, that's
yeah,
cold. I wouldn't be surprised. That does sound that probably would be something he would do. Not surprised. That is sick. But I remember last year was the fight of the year last year was with Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje, and I know that Poirier's been in great fights as well. So that could be we might be sleeping on that. That could be end up being a war. Who knows? But it's a 3 round fight, right? I believe it's a 3 round
yeah,
fight, which
yeah.
is that deserves to be a 5 round fight. To be honest,
But
with
is
you.
it gonna be the no?
So yeah, no,
Is it gonna be the co-main event,
go on.
Chandler versus Poirier?
That is the co-main event. Yeah,
No, I think it's still gonna be a 3 round fight. So I think only the main event gets to be a 5 round fight.
that's right. Yes. Unless it's a title fight, unless you got title fight on there. When's I believe Alec Volkanovski was fighting. No, he's not. Is he defending the title? I thought he was defending the title. He's fighting, or is he waiting to see if he can fight Islam Chimaev for the title? I think he wants to go up a weight class. I don't know. I'm jumping the ship there. Sorry, man.
No,
I'm
there was
jumping the ship.
something
Sorry
about
about that.
that. I think who called each other, the other person. I think it was Islam that called out Volkanovski. I think, oh God, I may be wrong, but after Islam's last win.
I know I'm jumping the ship. My bad. It's my fault. Sorry. It's
No,
my fault.
no, but Islam's last fight, which he won, he did call out
Yeah.
Volkanovski, I think, saying um he wants to have a bout with him for the next.
Yeah, and I said this before that do you know Alex Volkanovski, he fought Brian Ortega and Brian Ortega had him a submission. and it was deep. Was it? I think was it a guillotine or was it rear naked choke? Was it rear naked choke? What did he have? Was it a triangle? He had him in some sort of choke. I remember. I think it was a guillotine. I'm not too sure. And it was tight. And I forgot what choke it was. It was really tight, and he somehow escaped. But this is the thing. No offense to Brian Ortega, he's a great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. Islam Chimaev's submissions are way stronger
Yeah.
and way
Mhm.
tighter than Brian Ortega's. So if he gets caught by Brian Ortega, he's going to sleep or he's tapping.
Yeah.
So like it's a different ball game. I know that Alex Volkanovski has gone down the weights anyways because he was weighing a
Yeah, it was
heavyweight at
yeah,
one
yeah,
stage, believe it or not. Like, he was a heavyweight. So it's not going to be like, oh wow, he's gone up the weight class. He's not going to be strong. He used to be in that strength before, so it's not going to be any different to him. But that Islam different breed. If you get submitted, if he gets hit by that, it's game over. I see that's an easy win
yeah,
for
yeah, of
Islam personally.
course.
But yeah, but if that happens, that could be hearsay in my mind. I don't know where I heard that from. That could be all
No, those
hearsay.
Dagestani boys are a different breed. They're really well-rounded fighters. They're good on their feet, good with their hands, and also when they get you on the ground, you're not coming back up again. You're done.
No, I'm not definitely not.
Yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is it actually branches off from Andrew Tate and Jake Paul. Did you hear the no, True
Yeah,
Geordie, the what the guy had said?
yeah, idiot. Yeah, silly, innit?
No, no, it is silly. But
Dumb.
the thing is that I think what made it worse that the apology video the guy made was, I think it's both he just said sorry and left it at that, but it was just like about 20 to 30
Yeah.
minutes of fake crying, just shedding crocodile tears.
Mm. I think he was crying because he knows he's going to be get cancelled.
Even a poker
No.
gambling style, I've forgotten the name, but one of the YouTubers actually mentioned it because I think Gymshark cut their ties with him and a lot of other sponsors, but also a gambling website, they also cut their ties. And what's ironic is that gambling, which puts people in debt, causes people to commit suicide because they just waste all their money. Even they have the moral or ethical high ground to cut ties with someone who's just said something so distasteful. So it just seemed so bizarre.
Yeah. He literally like was talking about how Tyson Fury was an idiot when he had him on there, and then the next week he was just as much of an idiot as Tyson Fury, which is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I saw that video as well. I think Tyson just getting tired of
Yeah.
getting tired of all the questions that George throwing at him, and just to end up just being pissed off.
I don't think at that point I don't think True Geordie was actually doing anything wrong at that point. But it's mad that in the space of a week, people were like supporting True Geordie. And then
I
next
know,
week,
yeah.
later, like they
How the
said, no
tables
news
can
about one.
turn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then yeah, it's crazy. No, but no, 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 man. It's yeah, he's silly, very silly. What he did, he's an idiot. There's nothing to say in what he said. You, you can't say shit like that. I'm never gonna bring up what you said because you can't say shit like that. It's dumb. So I got nothing to say because he's gonna get cancelled and he should be.
Yeah, as well as using sponsors, I think he's lost some subscribers as well. The channel was showing like 2 million, and now I checked, it's showing 1.99. And I thought on YouTube, as well as subscribing, you can also unsubscribe. But I thought the unsubscribing thing was kind of like it'd be very, very hard for people to do that. For you to lose your followers. Yeah.
They pay. They pay. Yeah, yeah. I see.
Mm.
Maybe not everybody. There's probably subscribers that forgot they even got subscribing. You know
Yeah.
that that's the thing because he's got that 7 minutes. That's probably what's happened. I'm not too sure. What's your thought on it?
Um, what caught my attention really was the what he said, of course. Although I don't really understand why he doesn't like Andrew Tate, but then a lot of people don't like that guy. I didn't at first, but I started
Mm,
to understand. I don't agree with everything he said, but I started to understand some of the where it was coming from. Um, but I think what I don't like what Geordie did is that probably thought this is something you can say or do like he's been doing before in the past, and it's something I'll just brush over, breeze over, and it'll all be forgotten, and you'll just be life as normal. I think some people they've been
mm,
doing this podcasting or YouTubing thing for so long, they see they're gaining lots of success and earning lots of money from the channel, and it kind of gets to their head, and they think they can get away with anything. But I think this time around, he's been
yeah.
used just to as an example that it's not always going to be plain sailing, and sometimes you're going to have to be watching what you say. Fine, freedom of speech, but
Mm,
if you say something really heinous or really offensive, you know, don't don't
yeah.
expect people to change how they think of you or their opinion of you.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like he basically tried to attack a whole religion just to try to get at one person.
Yeah.
What an idiot. What an idiot. And he thinks people are going to support that. Pretty stupid.
Uh, okay.
But,
You may say this is a silly question. I heard it on a podcast on YouTube, but True Geordie and Andrew Tate, would you like to see a bout between those two guys? If if Tate came up in weight, or if True Geordie went down in weight, just to even things out,
mate, Tate would destroy him. Tate would destroy him. True Geordie's not a fighter at all.
even if he was trained up in
True,
with enough within enough time, no, you can see it happening all.
true Geordie gets smacked. The only time that fight is actually fair, and even then I still think he loses, is if it's an MMA bout. Because I think True Geordie would have a chance if he started learning grappling and then tried to take Andrew Tate down, but in a striking matchup, Tate destroys him. I don't think it'd be even go through one round, to be honest with
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, maybe Jordy would have the grappling advantage because of his size. Okay, so we were talking about True Geordie going up against Andrew Tate. I think that would just be for, well, I'm not going to say too much there, but yeah, Andrew Tate would take the win easily. True Geordie would it wouldn't look too good for him. Um, but yeah, but I was also saying about Andrew Tate joining the religion of Islam. When I saw that for the first time, via a controversial figure here in the UK, Tommy Robinson. He said he felt quite betrayed that Andrew Tate joined Islam, but someone like Andrew Tate converting to Islam, it just seemed a little bit bizarre to me.
you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If he has deep convictions to, he feels that's where he wants to go. That's where he wants to go. I don't know. I have no opinion on it, to be honest with you. To
Yeah,
be honest with you, I really don't.
no, it's quite a sensitive topic as well. But I mean, I don't know. Is he going to give up all that
No,
drinking and
no, what I mean,
smoking?
I know some people say they don't believe that. Some people don't believe that he thinks that way, but I think maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe people say it's for protection. Some people he's not, but like part of me thinks, well, maybe that's what he believes, or maybe it's not. But to me, as well, if he is cool, if he's not cool, either way,
Yeah,
it's not,
I know. Who knows the real reason why? Only he does. Only he knows.
yeah.
I think we've covered pretty much everything that I had in mind. But is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I'll say thanks, man. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate me always having a show, and me and yourself, we were meant to be interviewing other two fighters who sadly didn't make the show. Well, one of them said they could at like stupid o'clock. We weren't gonna
Yeah,
do that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have them on the show because some of them are some good talents, and I'd love to appreciate for you asking me to do an interview with them. I would appreciate to do. I would enjoy doing that. So yeah, but thank you for yourself for having me on the show. I really appreciate that. Honestly, thank you, man.
Okay. I think, well, I'll text you about it, but I think the other guy, Shamrock, he's agreed to come on this coming Saturday. Hopefully, that'll happen. And then our other friend, DP, MMA, that recently just won his last fight. Was it Raw Fighting, uh, last Saturday, by a knockout. He said he can do an interview with us, on Friday, which is now Friday morning here, so later on this evening. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that still
Oh, cool.
goes ahead. And look, man, this is the first proper show that I've done with you properly on Zoom. Who do you want to give any shout outs to anyone, affiliates and sponsors, to family and friends?
Yeah. In short, I get my missus from we live with now, Nina Peters, my dad, Brother Perry, Moses Jolly, Aaron Davinu, and Mike James, the coach. People like Aaron Davinu and Moses from the multicast. Um, David John's gym. Um, yeah, my Lord Savior Jesus Christ. That's it. To be honest with you, there's nothing, no one else. But thank you, though. But thank you, appreciate that. Honestly,
Yeah, and thank you very much for coming on, and thank you for being patient with me whilst I got my stuff set up.
no
And
problem.
I definitely need to start a lot earlier than this, definitely because you need your sleep as well, because you're still an active fighter.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm an active fighter, but I'm not. I haven't got belts locked in yet. So at the moment, I got a lot more time on my hands than I usually do. So I love this. This is great. Honestly, this is brilliant. I love podcasts. So thank you.
all right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe on the channel on YouTube. You can catch also the podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and on iTunes as well. Jonathan, until next time, thank you so much. Take care.
Peace.